Gas prices have dropped in Europe and President Vladimir Putin is likely to take the credit for it. The Russian leader is said to have instructed state-controlled Gazprom to pump more supplies into the EU, prompting an immediate fall in prices. The cost of gas and fuel have been increasing in recent weeks amid strong demand during the economic recovery from the pandemic in the bloc. Let's bring in Mike Fullwood, a senior research fellow at the Oxford Institute for Energy Studies. Many thanks for taking the time to speak to us. Energy gives Russia a huge amount of leverage. To what extent would you say that President Putin has been playing pipeline politics here?
Yes, thank you, Paul. I think to some extent it's probably true to say he is. I mean, he's taking sort of advantage of the situation of sort of the high prices and perceived shortages to suggest that if you approve Nord Stream 2, which has now been packed with gas, then we'll resolve the situation. However, I think it's probably not fair, as some people have accused Russia of doing, of actually withholding gas from the market. They've had their own issues this year with a cold winter, high demand in recovery from COVID. And Russia production is actually at record levels, 6% up on last year, in 2019, and 12% up on last year. So they've not been able to really send much more gas because they've been able to refill their own storage. And this is sort of coming to an end now, which is why I think he's said that they can sort of turn the taps back on and supply Europe with a bit more gas.
Do you think Moscow could have done more, though, than it wanted to? If it wanted, I should say.
Not really, no. Possibly a little bit more. Obviously, they've reduced their flows through Ukraine. They've booked less capacity through there, but they're now on the new capacity contract. And they've also sort of reduced flows along the Belarus-Poland route by not booking more capacity. But could they have flowed a little bit more gas? Maybe. Could they have flowed a lot more gas? Probably not, because Gazprom have been instructed to fill Russian storage, and that's just about done by now. I think Vladimir Putin has said they'll start flowing from sort of early November. That's when Russian storage is full. So rather than filling storage, they should have quite a lot of production available to send to Europe.
How can Europe avoid a repeat of these kind of spikes that we've seen in the last few months going forward?
It's not really easy because we're really at the mercy of the world markets. It's not just a European issue. I mean, Europe actually has plenty of storage in which to put the gas in. The problem was last winter we had a cold winter here and a cold winter in Asia, and a lot of LNG, liquefied natural gas cargoes, were pulled towards Asia, and Europe depleted its storage to supply the market. And also it's meant that this summer it's had to refill storage, but it's not been able to refill storage at a fast enough rate. So although actually by now storage is sort of getting back to sort of normal levels, a bit lower than our average, but we really are at the mercy of the global markets, and it's a combination of rising demand and tight supply.
Okay, so prices are at normal levels or coming back to normal levels. What does that mean for consumers?
Well, I mean, they're far from prices are far from normal levels. I mean, they've come down 20% in the last 2 days, as Putin said he'd turn the taps back on. It depends on which country you're in, really. It depends on the structure of the prices to end users. But it's not likely that even if prices fall dramatically now, we'd see much respite until sort of the middle of next year, and possibly even towards the end of next year, depending on how the prices get passed through to end users. But I think this time next year, hopefully, we'd see significantly lower prices.